All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming. This is going to be an AMA on Dawn of Crypton, which is the 2D minigame prequel of the MMORPG we wanted to create, mainly just to give everybody who bought wizards, land, elves, to start getting some use out of those. And we're very close to being done. So we also are open to any questions anyone has about Boba. We have more announcements and articles and promo coming from Boba about this partnership over the coming weeks, which we're really excited about. But in the meantime, what we can share, we'll definitely share if anybody has questions about that, since it's directly related to Dawn of Crypton and the MMO. So what we're going to do, starting off, is I'm going to look at the AMA channel. Let me see here. If I can find it. Where are you?
I tagged you.
I must be blind. Oh, wait, I see it. Hold on. Yeah, thank you. I don't know where that went. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Dr. Remy asks, I have 3 questions. Will all 12 professions have their leveling quests? Is the first question. Yes. Every one of the 12 professions will be able to go on expeditions in Dawn of Crypton. And in addition to that, every elf can also upgrade their skill level in every profession up to 2 for now. Just like we had wizards on our marketplace upgradable in that regard. So expeditions and elven adventures all will involve all 12 professions. And the second question is, will Dawn of Crypton provide earnings, aka the play to earn model, or will it just be leveling? So the play to earn model, aka the Ponzi model, is not what we're going for. Ponzinomics has proven itself to fail, especially once the markets turn sour. That is now most people understand this in crypto. So that's why you see a lot of shifting in verbiage from play to earn to play and earn, which is a lot more on par with how our game and games are going to be. The phrase I like to use when I'm talking to people is reward players for skilled gameplay, earn in-game rewards for skilled gameplay. So it's not just leveling up. The focus as far as the rewards are concerned should be something that is sustainable and not something that is continuously driving down the value of the tokens that people are holding. It's like, yes, we all want to get free money, but if then we're just losing monetary value because we're getting free money and so is everybody else, that's not a sustainable model. But what is sustainable is that you can still give away some tokens in terms of in-game rewards for certain things, but that should not be the primary rewards model. So in-game assets that are tokenized as NFT 721s and 1155s, that is a very sustainable model because they do not negatively affect token price. So anybody who looks at our NFTs, land and what have you, you can see that the value that they contain is significantly higher than what the tokens have. NFTs retain their value a lot better. And when market conditions are brighter, then those NFT values go up even more. So, if you think about it that way, the best investments and rewards are NFTs, which are still tokens, but they don't affect token price. So that's our focus, to be providing in-game rewards. And we've talked about this from the start, where there's going to be anything beyond character NFTs and land NFTs is essentially going to be unlockable for free for players, rewarded to them through skilled gameplay. And then players can hop over to OpenSea and go on the secondary market and trade them. So you see some people doing this sort of thing with character profile picture sort of collections, where they're doing a free mint and then they're banking on secondary rewards, secondary sales, commissions from those sales. And players then decide, or people, investors decide what those NFTs are worth. They find a floor, and the floor hopefully grows. So that'll be like similar, that we're going to be giving away these NFTs, like structures and pets and resources and what have you, for free for people who unlock them by playing the game. And then players will determine what those are worth on the marketplace. And then we'll get the standard OpenSea commission cut from that in AVAX, which, to the benefit of us and to the community, is not going to have a negative effect on our price of our token Magic. When we had our marketplace, there was an idea that the use case for Magic would allow Magic to increase because people would have to buy Magic to use Magic on the marketplace. But we tested this out in real life, and since February, when we launched the marketplace, until now, we've had enough time to test it. And we've done the math, and we see it's a zero-sum game at best. So somebody buys 1,000 Magic to buy an NFT. They give it to somebody who sold an NFT for 1,000 Magic. That person with 1,000 Magic then sells 1,000 Magic, and you're back to square one. So that is one of those kind of like vaporware things where it seems like it would be beneficial, but it's really just a marketing gimmick. And there's a couple more marketing gimmicks like that, like using a token as the gas token. That doesn't. It's a zero-sum game as well. So that is essentially what kind of earnings you'll get in the game. Dawn of Crypton, you're going to get NFTs, and these NFTs are going to be actually usable in the MMORPG, most of them, that is. So they're going to be transferable, and I'm sure one of our devs could talk more about that if they wanted to. They'll be transferable into the MMORPG. So you're actually benefiting beyond just Dawn of Crypton. Dawn of Crypton is a transitory game, more like a prequel before the MMO, so everybody could start actually having some fun and earning rewards before the game, because we're building an MMORPG. This is literally like the biggest endeavor you can possibly take, maybe except for creating your own blockchain when it comes to crypto. So it's going to take time to roll out pre-alpha, alpha, beta, full release, and then upgrades to the full release, expanding the entire metaverse. So let's see. Dr. Remy had a third question. Will land NFTs be somehow involved in Dawn of Crypton, or just characters? So yes, land NFTs will be involved. From my understanding, you will need to have a land plot in order to go on expeditions. But Drago, Cajun, if you have any more information on the use of land NFTs in Dawn of Crypton, feel free to add that.
You want to start, Cajun?
Sure. So the current design for land usage is built into expeditions. in that you will use a character and bind it to a piece of land to go on that expedition. That expedition will be bound based on the region that you're in. So it is the type of land is relevant, and the amount of quests, expeditions that can be done on a certain region of land will shift as time goes on. So if you have a Forest of Whimsy plot, you will naturally have more options available to you than someone with a less scarce resource, but will still not have all of the quest options available at all times. You will have all of them available throughout the time of DOC, but it will require you coming back and continuing your quests as the next week or next month rolls on. That way, it keeps you interested, keeps you playing, and ensures that there is functional utility, not just ownership utility.
Perfect. That's I think that explains that pretty well. So yeah, let's just move over to the next question. Maya, I don't know. Will any of the fees / magic used in Dawn of Crypton go towards funding the bank? So yes. Cajun, can you provide those deets?
Yep. Wiz and us, Wiz and I and us, settled on 5% initially. So for now, 5% of all magic-based fees will be sent to the bank. With that is an announcement. In my other project, I made it a proposal vote, but in this project, we have the benefit of having seen it done in another project already, so it's not going to go to a vote because it was very smooth and seamless, and we're just going to explain it to you now. Because the bank has no utility on Avalanche, because all of the fees accrued will be on the game chain, X Magic is going to move, and the bank by proxy is going to move to Boba. This will require no effort, work, migration, bridging by the user. If you have X Magic in the bank, what is going to happen step by step is the bank contract is going to get locked. All of the users' X Evo or X Magic is going to get burned, and then is going to get minted for you on Boba. And so every bit of balance that you had will exist immediately on Boba without you having to do anything, and you will be able to convert it back to Magic just like you had on Avalanche, and you can bridge it back to Avalanche if you so choose. If you want to go in and put it for liquidity or use it or sell it or do what you will with it. And that will allow all of the game contracts to directly send Magic to the bank, which is how the bank is funded. Otherwise, it would require us to, once a week or so, accumulate all of that Magic, bridge it over, send it in, which would allow for people to game the system and not have stuff deposited and only deposit for that period that they know that people are going to deposit. It allows for a lot of unsavory circumstances that are just solved by moving it. So yes, your tokens will move. You will not have to do anything, and you will be getting fees.
Yeah, I'm glad you explained that. So basically, for the end user, it's going to be very seamless and simple, and you still get all the X magic that you're going to get And yeah, we're gonna test out 5%. I think that's a good starting point, and that could always be adjusted. We could always make it higher than that if we determine that it's not going to be negatively affecting Magic itself. But 5% seems like a very safe place to be in for the fee distribution, fee sharing that's coming from Dawn of Crypton. And I think we can go to the next question from, I guess that's Dreamliner, I'm going to call that.
Or maybe
What will happen?
Maybe we should answer Phoebe's question because it's related to this.
Okay, sure. Oh, I didn't see that question.
Yeah, the last question.
Will we have to put the Boba network on our MetaMask or whatever wallet we have, right? Cajun, is this going to be a kind of like inputting it like we did for the Cosm Universe RPC, or is it going to be something you click something and it automatically pops up in MetaMask and you can just click add?
Right. So just to be explicit, every chain in existence in crypto has its own RPCs that you have to talk to. Whether it's the Cosmic Universe one specifically that was built for Harmony, or Harmony's default, or Avalanche, or Boba, there's a different network in MetaMask for every RPC, not just every chain. So because you can have Avalanche saved 5 times with 5 different RPCs. So to talk to Boba, yes, you will need a Boba RPC connected to your MetaMask. That said, it's very, very easy now to add networks because of open source sites like chainlist.org, and Chainlist already has Boba AVAX listed. So in addition to their link, we will have a button on the site where you can add it by just click add to MetaMask. The same way that whenever you click switch network on the migration page, if you don't have Avalanche, it'll add it for you. It should be pretty natural to the user.
Excellent. Yeah, that makes it easy. I think that's going to work out quite well. Yeah, we want to make this as seamless as possible. Having the whole reason to partner with Boba was to actually improve the project, improve the game, improve the everything related to what we're doing. So we don't want to make it any harder. So yeah, I'll go back. Yeah.
Yeah, before we proceed with the next question, I think we should a bit later cover some specifics when it comes to how we are gonna implement, how we are already implementing user interface in general when it comes to players communicating with blockchain about private keys, because that was a sort of hot topic for the past few days, just to shine some light on that as well. But we can proceed with that later.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We should definitely talk about that. We just have a few more pre-written questions, so we'll get through those and move on to that. Dreamliner asks, what will happen to Magic/Cosmic that players spend on training, expeditions, item shop, and repairs? So which one of y'all has the deets so I don't butcher this one?
Basically, the point of DOC is that this is like a prequel, something that we've mentioned multiple times, and since everything is stored on blockchain, whatever we make for the main MMORPG game is gonna drive something from DOC. TLDR would be that any progress made on DOC is gonna be relevant and is gonna be used in inside the main game. Not only that, we are also gonna have, I mean, my plan at least is that good portion of DOC when it comes to gameplay design is gonna be transferred in the main game itself. That is kind of my idea, and I personally see no reason why we wouldn't or shouldn't do that. But for the time being, DLC is meant to be 2D game to provide utility, and the main game itself is meant to be fully fledged 3D open world MMORPG metaverse. But the core mechanics can still be fetched from DLC. So the final answer would be yes. Any progress made on DLC is gonna stay relevant for the entirety of the game, which includes the main MMORPG, as we call it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good answer. Another follow-up from Dreamliner was, where will there be a way to earn magic / cosmic in DLC game? I think we went over that a bit already. And so I think I can move to the next one. Will Dawn of Crypton be available on iOS phone upon release, or Android and/or PC at first? Oh, Apple.
Who's
Okay.
gonna take this one?
Not me.
Okay, just because I had another AMA today and have already rattled this off once.
Just copy
So
paste.
we now have proof of concept of Android accepting crypto apps that we have built. So we know we are safe there. So it will absolutely be on Google Play. Anything that is ran on a phone can be ran on a PC. So it will absolutely be on the PC. Apple is a very questionable question mark. They just recently updated their terms of service yet again to further reduce the ability for a crypto game to exist on their app store. They made it to where effectively, if they can't find a way to squeeze 30% out of every transaction, they don't want you on there. And that's super generalizing what their lingo is, but it's made it to where it is a crapshoot at best. We are still going to try. That's not going to stop us from submitting it, but I just want y'all to have your expectations set accordingly, that it's not for a lack of us trying. It is Apple aggressively and repeatedly working against crypto as a whole.
Yeah. And as someone who has only Apple products, more begrudgingly each day that passes, this is really disappointing to me when I found this out through our partner Flame. So yeah, we'll do what we can, but we need to just make sure our expectations are being practical with them. And at the very least, if you have an iPhone like me, you'll be able to at least get on and play it on the desktop. I'm going to get a desktop just to play the game. And for the MMO, you're going to obviously need to have a desktop as well. So yeah, Android or desktop will be the two candidates most likely, and iPhone, iOS, we'll see. I think, Cajun, you already volunteered to answer Mia's question about the difference between play to earn and play and earn. I thought I mentioned it, the differences, but if you want to just drill in a little bit, go ahead.
Yeah, let him do that.
True. So do keep in mind that they're both buzzwords, right? They're effectively
Yeah.
just ways to define a viewpoint. But if you want to break it down and take what people believe it to be and compare them, I can do that. Play to earn as a mentality is you have an asset. In our case, that would be a wizard or an elf. And with just that asset, never putting in a single penny more, you can play with that asset and continuously earn ERC20 tokens. So in our case, cosmic and or magic for eternity with that one asset. Hopefully it's pretty apparent how that is not sustainable, which is why the community is moving away from it, because it's in a short term makes people think that it's great because there's no forward thinking done, and they will earn some and sell it, earn some and sell it, and make back what they spent on the asset, and then make whatever additional they can make, and then the game dies because there's no more money or liquidity from them paying the same few assets a bajillion times. Play and earn, conversely, is you have assets and you can earn assets and or tokens based on how the game designs the model, but they're not directly tied. Play and earn in a crypto sense is that you own your asset, you own your wizard, your elf. It has its own intrinsic value, standalone, and you're able to do things that can give you items, titles, rewards, potions that also have intrinsic value, but all of them are not directly tied. They all hold their own unique value and are all usable for their own unique purposes. And the economy, as a sustainable game economy works and has for a multitude of titles over the last 20-ish years, the economy of all of those items are decided by the community, because if you use it, it's worth value, and if you don't, it's not. And there will be outliers, like in lots of games where there's a skin that you can get for a weapon or a car that is hard to get, so people are willing to pay you a lot of money because they just want to have it. But it shouldn't be defined by the original asset you have. It should have its own unique value that you have decided along with everyone else that you play with. So you're playing and you're earning, and those two things are happening parallel but not connected.
Yeah, that's a good explanation of the difference. Looks like Mia had a follow-up DOC related question. Will DOC exist forever or be retired when the full game comes out? The DOC was intended to be a prequel as we are developing the full game. So yeah, once the MMO is out, DOC will be finished as far as playability. All NFTs that will declare are transferable will be transferable to use and play in the main game. And yeah, it was always just meant to be until the full release is out. So we're gonna have pre-alpha, beta. The Dawn of Crypton is still gonna exist as of right now during those iterations as well. So it'll be around for a bit. Let me go, because I saw Gear had a question. So Gear, let me just put you on here, and then we're gonna, like Jaga said, talk a little bit about something else. Let me see. I'll invite you to speak. There we go. Gear, step right up. Gear, sir.
You hear me now?
Yes. Hello.
Yeah. Oh, hi. Oh, first time talking to you. Wow. Well, I have to say hi and thank you to everybody involved in the game. I'm super happy about, be involved with a super awesome game. I am worried about the whole world in general.
Like planet Earth, right?
The Earth. Yeah. Like the Earth is getting fucked. For real. Everything is getting fucked, and That's why I'm wondering, like, who will survive and who will thrive and who will be, continuing developing. So, what is your plan continuing surviving in this fucked up development of the Earth? And what is your plan for the future, and how will you sustain, yeah, the markets, the whole, because you have a whole, you know, what should I say? You have a vision about how you want everything to be, and how will you continue your vision with the world, with the market, with everything is going on.
So
Yeah, sure. It's a it's a good question. It's
Yeah, go
heavy, but yeah, it's like, obviously the times are how they are.
Yeah.
So let me just did you want to say something, Drago, or you want me to get
yeah,
in
go
on
ahead
this?
first, then I'm gonna cover.
All right. Yeah, it's obviously 2022 has been really rough on crypto. I haven't seen it this bad since 2018. But even regardless, the past 5 months, crypto has been generally bottomed out, you can say, until this Black Swan event happened. So crypto may go lower. There's, I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin went down to around 10K before rebounding. So I think there is capitulation going on. The issues in the world, like, threats by certain geopolitical powers and what have you, that's to be determined what happens with it. But as far as the economy goes, it's been really bad, obviously, around the world, the recessions, inflations, and all that. But in the US, the CPI, core inflation, that stuff went down a couple days ago. I think that's why we had a rally yesterday or the day before, because it was better than expected as far as the numbers. The inflation figures were lower than expected, which shows that the Federal Reserve monetary policy of tightening, raising interest rates does seem to be starting to work and translating down into the economy. It's to be determined how that goes, but I would say, listen, if they raise interest rates by 0.5% instead of 0.75%, like is now what is likely the case to be in December. That'll also double as a Christmas gift to everybody. I think we'll see the economy, the markets, the speculative markets like crypto, respond favorably to that, just like they responded favorably to the CPI going down. And at some point, it just seems like we may be seeing the bottom very soon, sooner than later. And then from there, it may go sideways. May go slow and steady up, but it's not going to be a bull market for sure for at least a year, I would say. But in the meantime, what do we do, right? So what we have been doing is talking, having meetings with investor groups, and determining what strategic partnerships we can form and do what we can to have the equity, the funding that we need to continue development. So our latest meeting with an investor group this past week looks promising. They have several investment avenues that we can take with a project like ours, where we are post IDO, as they say, even though we never had an IDO. Well, technically we did, but it was a public launch, but we never had it like, okay, Magic's going to be $1, so everybody, pay $1. It was just let the market decide. And we did that because we wanted to ensure that we can do everything we can to not be considered a security. So post IDO sort of options are different. I would say they're more limited, but there's still enough to make it possible to raise the funds that we need. So we're still in negotiations with that. I personally am in negotiations with third parties outside of crypto for certain things that I am involved with. And yes, we were anticipating that the elves mint would continue minting out, but we had our mint date. I think it was like literally the same day that there was another big dump in crypto. So since then, it was not the rosiest of markets. So we did still generate a nice amount for the times that there are. I think we were the third best selling AVAX NFT collection since we minted, which is promising. But yeah, at this point, still, I would say it's too soon where we can be expecting a lot of elf sales. I would say we're going to see more elves being sold, being minted for playing the mini game, but and that would help to a degree. But really, what we're focusing on right now is the strategic partnerships that have these big marketing departments behind them that can help drum up more awareness about the project, first of all, because we believe the more awareness that people have, the more that they're going to want to get invested in the project, because what we have developed already is already far beyond what I would say the majority of blockchain game projects have developed. But that's that's only starting to happen now. We're getting that sort of support, and we're also still in negotiations with investor groups, VCs, as you will. So nothing concrete on the VC front yet, because certain due diligences need to be conducted, and then negotiations beyond that as to what kind of investment route is taken. So at the time being, I think it's very obvious that Cosmic Universe and lots of other projects have had to go lean, have had to go leaner, have had to focus on development rather than marketing. It's like marketing right now is like farting into the wind anyway. So development, focusing on the development, has helped us get a mini game out that is really cool. It's going to really help provide utility and raise funds at the same time in a way that won't negatively affect the token prices, which we want to do. The last thing we want to do is to be negatively affecting our token prices if we can help it. So, and we also have another new mechanism that will improve and fundamentally change our ecosystem with the if the community decides to do so with through a governance vote. So we'll have more news on that. We're really excited about it. I think everybody is. I think it's a no-brainer. So we'll be discussing that over the coming for the rest of the year. I would say soon.
I wanted to cover on my side when it comes to answering Gear's question. First of all, something that I would like to say is, looking at the current Bitcoin price as of this moment right now, it's almost 17K. And because this is my personal third bear market, since I've been crypto since summer 2017, and bull run back then was up to, was it 19.6K? Yeah, it was 19.6K. And even adjusted for inflation, Bitcoin is still doing decently. Yes, compared to 69K, how much it was a year ago, yes, it's like night and day difference. But compared to 5 years ago, I would argue that it's doing fine, actually. Yes, from emotional perspective, with all the things that happened with and are still happening with FTX and the potential even other things in crypto, etc., it's still bad. But I just wanted to shine some positivity and give people a little bit broader perspective. And now leading to my second point is I would like to mention that yes, we are mainly talking about blockchain, talking about cryptocurrency, etc. But I want to remind our community that this game is not only and solely about blockchain. It's meant to be a good game overall, something that we've mentioned multiple times throughout our recent AMAs. And I would also like to mention that for those people who are not following, for example, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, that just came out like a week ago or something like that, it broke all the records of Activision Blizzard company and the whole Call of Duty franchise. They sold like more than 1 billion of copies of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 in a week. Why am I saying this? Because, like I said, our game isn't exclusively about blockchain. Yes, we are using blockchain, definitely goes without saying, but the game itself has content, has its substance. And we are striving to make this a quality game as well. Cajun's job is to make sure that we are covered on the blockchain side of things. Others people's job is to cover the community side of things and talking with VCs. My job and my team's job is to make sure that this game is quality, has substance, is an interesting one to play. And to finish my side of answer, we are just gonna continue and focus on developing the game. And yep, that's it. Something that I wanted to add.
Yeah, nice addition. And I'll add to that too. I'll say that, we in this sort of market in general, and I think someone brought this up in the chat, that let's say we were to release Cosmic Universe, the MMORPG, right now, the full release, all the bells and whistles, it would do terribly, as any game would. Why is that? Because of the market. So, we see that with a chain like Aptos too. They launched during this market and they have been just dropping since they launched. So this allows this is an opportunity, I would say, for less pressure on projects to put their heads down and develop more, even if it takes a little longer, but just be more focused on development, and then wait until the market conditions are favorable, and then drum up the marketing, get things situated, refined, so that all the tokenomics are ideal, all the gameplay mechanics are perfected, and then when it's time, when it's noticeably improving, then that's when we put it all out there and we ride the wave. And that's the smart way. The stupid way is to just frantically try to like rush things and try to just put out a game as quickly as you can. And in this market, it's just like it's not going to work for anybody. I don't care who you are. So I think taking this approach, we are going leaner, and that does mean things take longer to develop. But I don't see that as a bad thing. And no matter what the market conditions are, we're good. We're going to be here. Even if we are low on funding, we just stretch out the timelines a bit. But we have a ton of intellectual property. We have so much unique custom assets that we have developed across the board in Unreal Engine 5 that, that stuff is good forever. We're good. We can just wait it out. And these downturns are temporary, no matter what. Great Depression lasted 3 years tops for the stock market. Right now, this isn't any worse than that. I would say it's far better than it was during certain previous issues in human history. people who are concerned about nukes flying in the air, honestly, I wouldn't be worried about that. That's mostly geopolitical games used to just instill fear in people to get certain things, because fear motivates really well, and people get what they want when they use that tool. So I wouldn't be so concerned about things like that. I would look at the fundamentals. I would look at economic indicators, and economic indicators are looking that things are very slightly but noticeably improving. So I would say just look at the glass as half full. Just avoid rose-colored glasses, because it's easy to get tunnel vision and have a really narrow reality tunnel during these times and see just doom and gloom. But you need to have just like a wider perspective and see that there's actually good things happening, not just bad things, and there's a increasing amount of good things that are coming in into the economy, into the world stage. So just like consider that. But with that said, Gear, I will bring you up again because I like you, and let's see what you got.
Yeah, do you hear me?
Yes, I
we
can
do.
hear you.
Perfect. So I'm a huge supporter. My belief is, unless you put yourself in debt, then you can go on forever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if Cosmic Universe keep on developing and keep on making good game, then they shouldn't be fucked like the whole rest of the market.
Yeah, and as you know, we're building an MMORPG. This Dawn of Crypton
Yeah.
game is more of an idle game, which is basically 99% of blockchain games. That's their like pinnacle of what they ever are going to do. But for us, it's just like a stopgap. And the MMORPG, and that just means we're going to be having so few competitors. We're going to be on the leading edge. It's, once the markets pick up, once more funding comes in for development, I think we can see us as being a leading blockchain game. So, until then, we're gonna put our heads down, develop, slowly, and when our time comes, oh, you better believe that we are going to be a force to reckon with.
Bro, I have so much in Cosmic Universe. You know. But anyway, the thing is, if Cosmic Universe keep on developing, then it shouldn't be a problem for a couple of years. Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. Like, if you just keep developing the game, then whenever the market comes around, like, you just jump on the wagon and you riding the price. So
Exactly.
it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I've been following crypto since the start. And I remember the 2008 recession, because in finance in business school they were teaching us about this, and it was just so crazy what was going on. And it's not as bad as it was then. Then I felt like really like everything was falling apart in the economy, but now it just feels more like it's kind of like a balloon has been deflating for a year, just waiting for it to inflate again. But yeah, I think we'll be fine. Like you said, at most 1-2 years, like it's not a big deal the whole time, and then that just helps us refine things a little more. There's a couple areas I believe we can improve things, and that's one of those things is related to a governance vote. So yeah, we'll have some governance votes, and we'll continue making this the best possible blockchain MMO that we can possibly make.
Yeah, to be clear, to all the people out there, I've heavily invested in Cosmic Universe, so I'm super psyched about the whole game, and I believe they do a good job. And as long as they keep on focusing on their work they're doing and not like hyping the project and just hyping and spend a lot of money hyping the project, it will do good, because they don't hype the project, and in that way they keep the money inside the project and keep the money where it should be spent. So the more you hype the project, the more it will go up, but at the same time, the more it will fall down. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Gear. We have to
Sure.
get
Bye.
back to something because I see it's almost been an hour, and I know Drago wanted to talk about something. Drago, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, I think we should just shine more light when it comes to how we are doing things with regards to players' connectivity to the game itself. And there are a couple questions and mysteries that people in general, not just our community, but I'm talking in general, are just not knowledgeable and not aware of how things work. Okay. I would like to start with the private key question, because there was an announcement and a few of people got worried, so to say, about, hey, do we need now to give out our private keys to someone, etc., because you should never give your private keys to anybody. Yes, that is true. But the thing is, with our implementation, you are not giving us your private keys. The way we are implementing this is you will be typing in your private keys to your devices, and your device is going to be talking to the blockchain itself, or should I say the RPC itself, directly. So we are not storing any private keys in any database. We just are never gonna know what's your private key. We literally have no connection with that. We are setting up the game so that it directly communicates. There is no middleware server, nothing like that. That covers the first question. So can we protect you 100%? Something that you, Wiz, covered in the chat itself. No, we can't. Because at the end of the day, you may lose your device. You may show your private key if someone is sitting right next to you. I mean, it's possible, okay? And if you're connected with any IT device, computer, laptop, mobile phone, doesn't matter, and if you have internet access, there is always some degree of vulnerability when it comes to personal security. But that is up to each individual on his or her own to take care of that. When it comes to our side of things, we are making sure that our hands are as clean as they get, because, like I said many times, we are not storing your private keys anywhere. Your device, we are basically allowing your device to communicate directly with the blockchain itself, in layman's term. And Cajun, you wanna add something to this?
I missed part of it. My brain's like slowly shutting off. Did you bring up that we're AES encrypting? No.
No, you should cover that front.
Okay. So as we've been developing the private key storage, as it has to happen, as he had said, there's a few people that brought up concerns about security of the private key, and we explained in great detail on how MetaMask works and that it's not secure whatsoever. I just recently upgraded our storage solution to AES 256-bit encrypt your private key before storing it on disk, and only decrypting it when loaded into memory. So while on disk, it is completely and totally illegible. So even if somebody were to get access to your device and pull all of the files off of your computer, they would still not have access from our application. I cannot say the same for MetaMask, but we have you covered.
Okay, let's see what's the next question. Mia is not
We have
feeling up to joining us. What's the next? Yeah, go ahead, Viz.
We have time for just one question because it's already been an hour. So just keep that in mind.
Let's see. Do you see any question that we should cover? Or I'm gonna be
Let's see.
scrolling through them.
Hold on 1 second.
Club Lion, I think he asked about DOC. Is it going to be .exe file? Technically, yes, but we are most probably gonna ship it through our launcher. Something in a fashion how we did it with the gameplay demo that we had. That's gonna be the case for Windows PC. When it comes to Android platform, it's gonna be shipped through Google Play Store, and pretty standard implementation.
APK file with a .obb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty simple for people who have the corresponding device to play Dawn of Crypton. So shouldn't be any worries on that front. And we'll provide more information on Dawn of Crypton, how to play it, how to connect, and all of that fun stuff once we're close to the release or once we're ready to release it. So yeah, thank you everybody for coming. That was an hour already, just flew by. But as always, if you have more questions, just feel free to drop them in the AMA channel, and we'll get to them. We're also going to have a recording of this AMA. We're going to put that up soon. And yeah, on to the next one. Hope everybody has a great day, and keep your chin up. It will get better. It always does. And we're just going to keep building. All right. Have a good day, everybody.